What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning on the left side of the map in the red color. Swapping things up now with Kronos. His name is Schalke. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Set, currently eating his berries. His name is Yoshii. It's currently 1-0 for Yoshii in this best of 3 series for the group stage of the competitive mega random tournament. Lots to have, lots to do, lots to be here in this game. We'll see what Yoshii's going to come up with. I have said it once and I'll say it again. Competitive, not competitive, the most creative of Age of Mythology players I've ever come across is Yoshii. This is him. He is the most out-of-the-box player you'll ever see, always coming up with something that could potentially work. Sometimes not going to work, but most of the time it's strategically sound in one way or another, as he is going to be moving over onto this gold tier. Now, if you've come to know anything about how I like to play Set, and I feel like it's the only thing that really makes a lot of sense, is utilizing the animals of Set to your advantage in some way, shape, or form. So whether that be to be eating the animals for food, or utilizing feral and getting some of those aggressive animals like crocodiles, hippo, or rhino into your army in tandem with certain timing attacks, utilizing shifting sands and everything else. Those are the ways that I like to play with Set, which means that if that's the case, a lot of the times it's really worth it to just bring a handful of villagers whenever you're shifting sands and try and take down something and put some real pressure onto your opponent and not allow them to get away with whatever they think they can. And the big idea where that's concerned is your opponent's like, well, I've got a minute here. I can get to the next stage. You cannot. At any stage, a Set player can hit you with a shifting sands, especially if you do not utilize this god power in the early stages of the game. I think this is one thing that Set players might want to consider holding on to a lot more. The idea being, as I'm going to continue along my Set rant, because I think Set is a strong god that is misunderstood. The idea being that Yoshii, or not Yoshii, that Set can utilize shifting sands with vision at any point in the game and simply just be fairly aware of the score. And if they see a significant score drop, that's when they drop the vision. And if then they can make the attack there. So if you see a score drop, your opponent's potentially getting a second talent center or getting up to the next age. You can make your timings based on what you think it is, and then use your shifting sands when you see that. So all lots of very, very interesting ideas here. As Yoshii's going to be wandering forward. Has he advanced yet? No. What's he? Do I smell cheese? I feel like I smell cheese. Yummy, yummy cheese. The apes of Set. Why not make an ape of Set? Why not make an ape of Set? 3 villagers coming forward. Schalke making a break for it. This is so not good here from Yoshii. He's gonna be making this game. He's gonna be really making this game difficult for himself. Schalke's already clicked up to the next stage. He did decide to go off meta. He's going through Leto. We'll see what's gonna happen here as the Pharaoh wandering through. We can see a cheeky. I mean, it makes sense. These villagers aren't doing all too much. Throw that monument to the soldiers up, but he can definitely jump onto these zebra if he so chooses, and be eating those. As the villagers eating up over on this location here. And is Yoshii advancing yet? No. I mean, he's just more priest? More monkeys? Are we living in 2002 vanilla era where monkeys of Set were broken? Is that the most terrifying army you've ever constructed in your life? This one here. Unfortunately for Yoshii, there's a small nerf, negative 50% bonus damage versus buildings, which means 1.75 damage turns into less than 1 damage a second onto the mana. Now, luckily for Yoshii, that means that these monkeys are doing 1 damage per second against buildings. Every one of these units is doing at least 1 damage per second against these buildings. There is a check in this game, a minimum damage check, which some people don't know exists, but it does exist. A minimum damage check, which means that your units do 1 damage per second no matter what. So it works on the Titan, for example. Your units do 1 damage per second. They have to, at the very least. Unless the thing has 100% armor, which isn't possible unless you're in the editor, I think. As the monkeys. They're almost taking down the Mahilo. The army of baboons. Anubis coming through now for Yoshii as things are starting to get very, very serious here. Do we see a third monument somewhere? Not just yet. Villagers happily mining up over here. Okay, there's the third monument as the army wandering forward here. The priests trying to get as much damage onto those automatons as they possibly can. These automatons actually will be able to take down these monkeys fairly easily here as Yoshii going to be losing his Pharaoh fairly soon here as well. And this rush that Yoshii has tried to attempt here against Schalke seems to be dying out. Though the villagers do manage to take down one of those Momillo, so they might have to retreat back home here. But Yoshi's got to be kidding himself, being like, why did I do something so abnormal? As he does decide to cast the Plague of Serpents down. The villagers still under threat. I think Yoshii wanted to throw down some barracks on the front here with these villagers. And obviously these monuments to the... maybe not obviously, but they're a little bit disrespectful in a big way. As the knowledge here for Schalke is not quite there. He doesn't realize that Plague of Serpents is actually a very strong god power in 2022. It used to not be so good. But in 2022, it is a incredibly powerful god power. As each one of these serpents does 7 damage per second. It is 90 HP, so they take a long time to get picked off here. And it's really, I mean, an automaton's a good try here to finish these guys off. It kills off an automaton fairly fast. Nice ghost building there from Yoshii. Very, very good at those ghost buildings. He's got a lot of practice with that where that's concerned. We are seeing the automatons now going into Yoshii's base, causing a little bit of problems for Yoshii here. As an armory getting thrown up by Yoshii. He's going to be waiting on his Pharaoh. It's going to pop out soon. He might be able to make some crocodiles of set. I guess the big question is, did we see Feral come through or not? He could have got that in the first stage. No, he didn't get it. Armory now going to be coming out for Yoshii. Going to be a very, very late heroic age here from Yoshii. He can go straight to the mythic age behind it. He doesn't have shifting sands because he went through Anubis, but he does have himself the Anubite now to run around and cause some problems. Oh, the Chrono JJ building block there with the military bags. Love to see it. Chrono JJ inspired things here. One of those very, very underutilized, super strong abilities from Kronos is the ability to building block immediately. You don't need a unit nearby. Like Norse, if you throw the building down, it needs to be right next to the unit, needs to be right in the right place at the right time. Kronos, none of that. You just throw a mill. Your opponent's trying to retreat. No worries. Just move the barracks. No problem. But we will be seeing Yoshii making a very sneaky maneuver here with those villagers. The question is going to be, will Schalke spot this or not? As you do see a spider eggs getting dropped down, a town center coming down for Schalke as Yoshii is continuing this aggressive move here, making hyenas of set. He's getting himself feral now as well. As a hyena going to be a little bit obnoxious to deal with, and then as soon as he hits the heroic age, he should be moving away from hyena into crocodiles of set as Ancestors does come through. And there's a little unknown fact there. Set's unknown answer to Gaia is actually animals of set to take out those what are they called? Spider lairs. As the Ancestors does deny this location from going up, and the villagers are in to throw up something, but Yoshii is Still going animal army. He might have to throw up a... he's going to take the town center for himself. Looks like he's going to take the town center for himself. Wait, what's he doing? I don't know. Where are the villagers going? Oh, we say, is this a villager rush of some variety? We see a marker coming down for Yoshii. He might be trying to get to the mythic age behind all of this. Remember, these animals of set are effectively free once you have the monuments down. So there is that. I mean, they do cost 3 favor. I'm surprised we're still seeing hyena of set. I know I did a hyena of set villager rush once in my life before. It didn't go so well for me, but you know, that is what it is. We will be seeing Yoshii throwing up a siege works in range of this town center. This could be one of those cheeky maneuvers that we see against lower level players from time to time, which is building in range of offensive building means that you have to micro to attack something else. So the villagers can actually just wander forward and start freely moving through his opponent's base. And Schalke has not paid attention to this just yet, as the army is continuing to come in and not take any damage. One of the big smart moves here from Yoshii, as towers getting taken down. The animals are set wandering through here, trying to take down these villagers here. Another mana getting thrown up for Schalke. As, I mean, these hyenas of set actually deal a lot of damage here. 8.4 damage per second. How much does this give? Plus 2.0 hack damage for the hyenas, as a lot of these are getting taken out. And now we see another siege works getting thrown up right in the main base of Schalke. As funnily enough, that actually allows the town center to start targeting down something else, but you can just leave the base and then the siege work starts getting targeted down yet again. As another citizen getting taken out here, and Schalke is feeling very, very battered and bruised here from this incredibly deceptively strong strategy that Yoshii has implemented in this game. I mean, if you think about the things that Yoshii could have done slightly differently to execute this strategy in a more serious way, things like building those monuments in his base, man, what a terrifying time it is for a set player. But Schalke not able to quite live in this game. The early monkeys have set, a couple of villagers coming forward, pushing off the food, slowing Schalke down. Also, Schalke not going through Prometheus here to get those free heroes which deal with myth units, especially animals are set very easily, not getting those out. And all of the things mounting up to a fairly interesting but decisive victory here from Yoshii. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.